Hey guys and gals, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is BNSF 6951. I am Vinny and I will be your host. This channel is all about model railroading. Model railroad layouts, model railroad layout updates, run and op sessions, tips, tricks, and techniques on scratch building, and kit bashing. I also do some rail fanning, and on Friday nights at 8 p.m. I do a live stream. Everybody is welcome to my live stream. There's a lot of stuff that goes on there, chit chats and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes I'll show a kit build, sometimes we'll just talk about model trains and so on and so forth, guest appearance and all kinds of stuff like that. If this sounds interesting to you, please hit that subscribe button, and after you hit that subscribe button, please hit that bell so you'll get notified when I do a video upload or when I do a live stream. By the way, my live streams are on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And after all of that, and I know I'm asking you guys for an awful lot, but please hit that thumbs up. That'll help my analytics with YouTube. With all that being said, here's a few words from my sponsor, and now we'll get on with the video. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. This Vinny Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For all your model railroad needs, check out Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 7% discount with BNSF 6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome street graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad layout. If you guys are looking for sophisticated model railroad electronics, Logic Rail Technologies has what you need. For a 5% discount on certain items, use code BNSF6951. Alright guys, now it's time for the next step on your layout. Trees! I have been dealing with Bob for 7 years now, and he does excellent work on his trees. So if you need some trees on your layout, check out Long Shadow's Trees. Tell him the Cuz sent you. Alright guys and gals, this is going to be a different type of video. This is going to be a slideshow with narration of all the steps it took for me to build these abutments that you'll see at the end of this video. Anyhow, I'm sorry that you're not seeing me face to face today, but I am not showered, I look terrible, and I have lots of things on my plate to get done in the next few days. I got to get my house cleaned up, I got to get the layout all cleaned up, and get ready for my guest that'll be here on the Sunday the 16th, Saturday the 16th, and Sunday the 17th. Anyhow, with all that being said, let's get on with this video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Be right back. Alright guys, what you're looking at in front of you is the way I'm going to start building these bridge abutments. This is just a piece of wood that I have found from leftover projects that's been going on in my house, and I am going to start that as my foundation for this build. So anyhow, let's see what the next step's going to be doing. Alright guys, as you can see, I'm taking some measurements right now. The width is not as important as the height will be because I need to get this abutment as close to the top of that as I possibly can. So anyhow, let's see what the measurements are going to be. Alright guys, for the bridge, I'm going to be using a Kato single plate girder bridge. This bridge is 7 5/16 inches long and has to have several modifications done to it because it comes equipped with a Kato Code 80 track. So I have to take that out, modify the bridge to make my Code 55 track work. Alright guys, now the fun starts. I'm using an evergreen 1mm thick sheet styrene, and as you can see I have all my measurements at the bottom of the drawing right there. And so now the fun is going to start. I'm going to cut everything out the way you see except for the 2 vertical lines. Those will be just scribes so I can bend the wing walls back. Alright guys, in this photo you can see that I am matching up the styrene plastic with the wood situation that I have going on there. Alright guys, next I'm going to go ahead and take my mat, use my mat as a guide, and use a 6-inch straight edge and gently scribe the vertical line so I can bend those wing walls back. Now remember, you just have to do 1 or 2, well maybe possibly 3 little scribes, and then gently bend it backwards. And that should give you your wing walls. Once I have scribed the walls, I will gently bend them back to a 45-degree angle and we will secure it in that position. Alright guys, as you can see, I have a freestanding piece of styrene with wing walls bent back. Eventually I will use the mat as my guide for the 45-degree angle. So let's get on to the next step here. Alright guys, now it's time to attach the piece of wood to the plastic styrene. And for this I'm using this Pro CA, it's ultra thick gel. Seems to work pretty good. I also didn't show you guys the little bracing I did down there on the bottom, just to hold my 45-degree angles in position. Well, I guess they weren't kidding when they said that this was ultra thick, because it took both of my hands to squeeze out this glue onto this piece of wood, and I smeared it all over the back of that piece of wood to make sure that it would bond 100%. Anyhow, on the next step you'll see what I did to accomplish all of this. I clamped the piece of wood to the styrene using that CA as I described earlier, and I used these little mini clamps. If you don't have these mini clamps, you should get some of these because they come in handy all the time. And also you can see down at the bottom there how I did my little bracing. Well, that's going to be changed up a little bit as we go along, so let's see what's next in the video. Alright, with both abutments complete now, I put the bridge on top of there just to see how it would look. And if you guys are saying, yeah, it looks like it's kind of on an angle, it is. It's on a 2% grade where this bridge is going to be located. So with that being said, let's see what else I'm going to do here. Alright guys, as I mentioned earlier that I was going to change up the support at the bottom of the abutments. Excuse me. And as you can see right here, I have cut out a piece of styrene, which is a 0.5 millimeter thick evergreen product. And I will secure that to the bottom of the triangles that you see in the abutments. And that will give me a nice gluing surface when it's on the layout. And also give me the extra support I need to keep those 45-degree angles. Alright guys, now that you see I have this bottom piece on there, it's going to serve two purposes actually. The first purpose is to make sure everything stays at the 45-degree angles and has a nice gluing surface, but it's also going to raise my abutment up just by that 0.5 millimeter, and I'm going to need that because the bridge is actually just a bit low and I just need to adjust that. And you will see. Alright guys, we're going to start painting the upper sill and wing wall covers to make it look more like a wall rather than just this flat sheet of plastic styrene. This color is by testers and it's called light aircraft gray, and I think it's a pretty good color for concrete. Alright guys, this is where I'm going to be using that aircraft gray. As you can see, I added the top sill to the abutments, and I also added the top sills on the wing walls to make it look more like a wall rather than just a flat piece of styrene. Anyhow, in the next picture I'm going to show you how I'm going to make the abutments look a little bit better than just plastic styrene, so stay tuned. Alright guys, next step I'm going to do is to dress up this abutment to make it look a little bit more pretty. I could have just painted it with that light aircraft gray and just made a concrete abutment out of it, but I decided to add this Plastruck product. And this is, I believe it's called Random Stack Stone. And the detail on this is really, really nice. When it's painted up, you can see all the detail in there and all that kind of good stuff. So anyhow, with all that being said, let's see what the next step is going to be. Alright guys, now it's on to the measuring and fitting and all that kind of good stuff. I actually made these just a little bit bigger than what they're supposed to be, and I could always sand them down to make them fit properly. Anyhow, in the next step I show you all the parts that are cut out for this, and we'll carry on from there. Alright guys, here's all my fascia parts cut out, and I forgot to mention early on that this is styrene plastic, and we're going to be mounting it to styrene plastic, so regular styrene cement will work for this. As I did mention, I did make them a little bit bigger so I could sand them down to fit properly and make it look really nice. So stay tuned, let's see how I'm going to get on with the rest of this. Alright guys, as I start mounting the fascia to this, as you can see I do the side walls first, or the wing walls, whatever you want to do. I do both sides, and then I put the front over the side walls to give me a better seam at the end of the project. Alright guys, this is what the finished abutment looks like with all the fascias put on there. The picture makes it look kind of weird that it's kind of narrow, more narrow on the bottom than it is on top, but I promise you it is totally square. Anyhow, we're going to make this look a little bit better by adding some paint color to this. So stay tuned and we're going to see how we're going to accomplish that. Alright guys, I decided I was going to do a wash rather than a paint job. So what you see in front of you are the colors I'm going to try using. The first one on the left side would be granite gray. And the next one would be khaki. And the final one would be real brown. And I thinned these out pretty good to try and get a nice wash going on them. So anyhow, let's see what we can do with all of that. Alright guys, this is round one of me adding color to these bridge abutments, and to be honest with you, I think they look terrible. So I am going to mess around with the color on these, and I guess the next time I show you these guys, they will be on the layout. And you guys will get the first scene of what this area is going to look like with some scenic material on it. So stay tuned and we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, this is what you see when you walk into my train room from my living room. This is the bridge. This area is going to be called Hardwick Gorge. Yes sir, Hardwick Gorge. So anyhow, we're going to carry on. Alright guys, as you are looking in from my living room into the train room, this is the right hand abutment. There's still more scenery to do. I need to bring the scenery up to the abutments. And now here's a shot of the left hand abutments. And I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. And as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all folks. BNSF 6951 out.